day 3. It's been 4 weeks since we've been together, so everybody remembers me. I'm Vince Varallo, and it's a pleasure to be back. I'd like to actually start with a conversation last week that I had with your diversity and inclusion team, and of course, that's the group that sponsors this particular program. And what we talked about was that it's relatively new that international professionals who are working in English as a non-native language is gaining some attention. Because really the catch-all for everything over the years has been accent modification. And a lot of people don't really need accent modification. So the question is, what are some of the services that we could provide for you? And better yet, here's what I really enjoy. What learning plans can you put together so this becomes a career opportunity for you and a lifelong learning opportunity as well? So my new program is I Work in English. It's a consulting firm, and we're working very closely with you, really, international professionals, and it's very, very exciting. And I want to share with you now the learning plan that I would like for you to be putting together and thinking about. We talked a little bit about it 4 weeks ago when we were together, but let me give you some more depth. So if you take a look at the 3 areas, and you have clear speaking, speaking with impact, and developing a compelling narrative. And that first panel is really, you'll see that it's about you, and meaning that if you have certain sound production issues, that's important for you to take care of. But here's the question that I always ask. Are you clearly spoken in your native language? And that means that if you're not clearly spoken in your native language, it's a double challenge then in a second language to gain clarity of speech. So we should do a profile on you to find out what your native speaking characteristics are. And you know, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there's a lot of learning about clarity of speech that has nothing to do with really accent, but it's really being understood. This is the most popular one that gains attention in the marketplace. And you'll hear people with the advice, and I'm sure you've heard this, and maybe Sachin, you've heard this over the telephone, Farouk, it's possible as well. Slow down. We need to understand you. Speak slowly. But I have a question for you. When's the last time you saw a leader speaking slowly and clearly so everybody understands them? It's good advice to be understood, but you don't always slow down. And our topic today, as we finish off a 3rd day of our program, is really speaking with impact, right? And taking you through all those areas of communication where the focus then becomes on your audience. It's about them, no longer just about you. And that reframing becomes important because now you're packaging your messages for your audience. And I know we focused a lot on that day 1 and 2, but I'm excited to see from you today your performance of this in your presentation. And I know everybody received the pre-work, and I know everybody's prepared for a presentation, and they're laughing. Of course, the audience is totally laughing, right? As we work with these large companies. And developing that compelling narrative, that's the executive coaching piece where, you know, what's your personal branding? What do you have about you that you carry with you wherever you go occupationally? What's your story? And it's not just a singular story, but it's really multiple stories that reflect your thoughts about who you are and how you want to conduct business. And this is that piece that really, it's no longer just about you or about them, but it's about moving them. And it's that leadership piece, that motivational piece that gets people who work for you motivated to do the work. It's that we talked about it a little bit in our program 4 weeks ago, where it's influencing without authority, right? Not just with authority. So it's very exciting, and this is really the development of your learning plan in your careers as you're moving upward the ladder, and supported greatly by the Diversity and Inclusion Department. So again, I'm excited to be here, and thanks. Do you have any questions? Sachin?